Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Yu Wing. You can call me Yu Win or Win, and I'm happy that we get to have this moment together whenever and wherever you are joining. So, I like to share a practice to start my video, and as my mom's caregiver, one of the things that we do throughout our routine, she is so proud that she has forced coffee on me. And probably within the last year or so. But what we do is we will save our last bit of coffee and then we will cheers to something similar to something that we will probably cheers to when we are seeing an angel number together. But we might, um, wish for infinite possibilities or um, living big or feeling peaceful. And we cheers and we finish whatever is left in our drink. So if this is, if you live with someone, if you see someone regularly throughout your day or throughout your week, maybe a coworker or something, maybe you could toast to something with someone, just something for your toolbox, just for your consideration. Okay, so today I think I want to talk about some of the things that have been difficult. Even though I am still trying to figure it out, I think it is maybe helpful to share. Definitely know that it's been a part of my journey and still trying to learn. Have a couple things in mind. I think maybe one or two other things might come out, but I'm going to start with forgiveness. So, this is not something that I think Vietnamese Americans are very good at. And I think historically and collectively, right, they've been through a lot and there's been a lot of colonization by different countries and a lot of things have happened to people and a lot of suffering and a lot of heartache and a lot of is this is this life? And so I didn't hear it in my family. I don't really hear it in general. Maybe from Catholic Vietnamese Americans, but as a non Catholic, I don't know what that looks like. And so maybe one of the first times I came across forgiveness, I had a former supervisor who had shared a book with me. It's talking about forgiveness. And I think I tried reading it. I don't remember if I finished it. This was before I made it a habit to read. But there were some different exercises, and it was helpful in the fact that it was a different perspective. I think I always thought before that forgiveness was like accepting what somebody did. And so that book may have helped me to start to see, okay, perhaps forgiveness is, something entirely different and I need to keep exploring this. And so I've been more interested in learning more and exploring forgiveness maybe this year. And I think there was a post that I saw online that I wrote in my journal just to like remember, but it escapes me now. And if I look it up, I don't know if it would be very helpful. But maybe since then, because I was probably at least 10, 12, 15 years ago, thinking of the idea that forgiveness, much like anger, is more for us than it is for the other, right? When we are angry, we think that the other person, is feeling it, but it's really usually just us feeling it. And so forgiveness is for us to be able to move forward. And then this week, I was listening to a Louise Hay video. I will have to listen to find it so I can share it in the video notes because I've watched one every day and I don't remember which one it was. But I remember briefly she said that forgiveness is no longer being defined by what happened. So if I've been holding a grudge against a friend for something that happened, in doing so, I am defining myself by, oh, this friend did this to me. So I am someone who this happened to, or I'm someone who a friend did this to. And so, in this definition, forgiveness would be me saying, I don't want to be defined by being a person who a friend did this to. So I want to let go of defining myself by that. And it must have been very significant to me because it's the only thing I remember from that video. Usually I'm like, oh, this and that. So it might have been the morning when I was really sleepy. Um, and that was literally the only thing I remember. So I do apologize if I do not share the video because I don't know how long it's going to take me to find, or maybe you should check back later. But I was like, oh, there's still more that I can learn about forgiveness. Um, no longer wanting to be defined by the event or the situation. Um, yeah, so if you have any definitions or examples of forgiveness, please feel free to share those with me. I would love to explore more. And then a second concept that has been very difficult for me on this journey, um, and it's going to depend on your definition. But I guess based on my friend's definition, I would say that I have struggled with both of these. So, trust is one. And it's interesting because I think there is a part of me that trusts other people first, and then I lose trust in someone, as opposed to, I don't know this person. I'm going to find out if I can trust them. And so I think that's maybe not been, I mean, I don't know. It's just how it has been, I suppose. Um, but also when applying trust to myself, I think that has been a long, arduous journey of navigating. And there are still days where I wouldn't say that trust comes naturally. Um, and I don't know if that's a part of being a Pisces sun, or any other part of my chart or any other part of my design, or nurture. But the sort of like uncertainty as opposed to having a steadfast trust in myself. And then I remember there was a time, probably within the last several years, where I was working on, can I trust that I can get through this task or this situation, as opposed to like like a long term trust. It was more like in this temporary situation, can I have any kind of trust? Which then I think is connected to the third one, which is faith. And I think the way that my friend described faith, or the difference between trust and faith for her, was that faith is in something that is greater than, or like in a higher power. So whether that's the universe or God or Mother Earth or Source, or any other version of something that is greater and higher than us, that has not been something that has come easy either. Um, and I know that a lot of that is part of conditioning and um, seeing seeing how the people around me. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like superstition. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of fear, and so I think it's really hard to have faith in that. I think watching my like within my family, watching my mom, I do believe that she has faith in Buddhism and in her practice and but I don't know if it ever translated to me. I think she, at some point she might be like, "Oh, all you need to do is like chant." And I was like, "I don't think I've ever found calm or peace or safety in chanting because I don't think I identify with the deities or like the different Buddhas. And I think maybe when I was younger, I might have just recited it because that's what I was taught, but I don't know what actual help that was for me. And so, with all of that, and sort of being around people who are like the glass is half empty, the sky is falling, everything seems to be a crisis, I would say that faith is something I have not seen modeled and that I haven't really been around. I think I'm around a lot of people who feel like they have to be responsible for everything in their lives. And there isn't a things are going to work out mindset. And so faith is still very unfamiliar to me. And it's something that I want to cultivate and have been curious and have been exploring around how do I trust source? How do I trust? No, how do I have faith in source? How do I have faith in the universe or that things are working out? So I think one of the really helpful, pieces about listening to Louise Hay has been, I mean, I know they're affirmations, but the way she says it, maybe because it feels so nurturing, it just feels like she's telling me, and that's how it's going to be. Like, oh, everything is working out for your highest good, Yu Wing. Or like you can be open to receiving miracles. Um, and so it's been really interesting and it's been unfamiliar. And sometimes I think there's a lot more work that I need to do in order for something to work out or for me to like develop a quality. But maybe it's just, hey, let's have faith today. All right, we're just going to try it on. We'll see what happens. And so I'm going to try to put on a faith cap tomorrow and just, hey, everything's working out. Oh, I'm going to look on this website and, maybe I'll find a job. Cool. Um, so yeah, I'm sitting with these things that have been elusive, a little unfamiliar, and that have not been the focal point of much of my journey up until this point. And so I'll be curious to continue to explore and see how these lessons unfold or how these things show up. So maybe tomorrow I'll remember and be able to share about my experiment trying on Faith Cap. All right, that's all I got today. Thanks for joining me on my journey. It's been a journey, and I'm just I'm checking in with myself to see if I have been speaking my truth, if I have been sharing, and it's coming along. I haven't seen it show up in other areas of my life, but it's been interesting to see the comments and sort of the ebb and flow. Of course, that's not the reason why I'm doing this, but I I believe that there is some value in creating these videos and sharing them. So I hope that there's some value for you. And if not for you, maybe for somebody you know. And if not, that's okay too. I still do hope that you feel loved unconditionally, exactly as you are, exactly as you truly are, not having to do anything more or change anything, but that who you are is lovable and still trying to sort through, the language for it. Um, and if our paths cross again, I look forward to it. And if not, I do hope you take really good care of yourself. And until next time, take good care. Okay, bye bye.